Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all having a great day. As you can see, it's a beautiful day out where I am, and I just got some suntan here and just trying to stay out of the intense sun. But, anyways, I wanted to go ahead and touch base on something that was actually brought to my attention just now on my phone because I get alerts from Ringside News. A injury update on one R-Truth as he's provided unfortunate medical update after 8/12 WWE Raw. Ringside News is the source. Go check them out. The link will be in the comments section down below. And I'm going to go ahead and just talk a little bit about this. This week on Raw, Bronson Reed faced The Miz of Awesome Truth. Truth is in singles competition, and it didn't take long for Bronson Reed to dismantle The Miz, but the violence didn't end there. After the match, Reed climbed back to the top rope, preparing to deliver another Tasami on The Miz. R-Truth tried to intervene, but Reed hit him with a Tasami as well. Reed then followed up with 4 more Tasamis as officials desperately tried to stop him. Not satisfied, Reed climbed to the opposite corner and hit yet another Tasami on R-Truth as Big Bronson Reed started to head to the back. R-Truth changed his mind and Reed changed his mind and delivered one more to Sami. He didn't stop until 5 finishers were laid down. And basically, R-Truth had logged into his Twitter on August the 14th to provide a brief update. Although he didn't say much, his words made it clear that the veteran is struggling. And he basically said, cracked ribs and internal bleeding. And, a lot of us, we sometimes take these performers for granted that they're going to be okay after every single angle, every single match, every single moment. But we soon realize that these performers and what they're doing puts their health at risk because they have to entertain us. But the physical toll on the body in wrestling is always well known from fans now and even back then, that these performers, they do get hurt. And at the end of the day, they're only human. And that's one of the harsh realities of professional wrestling. These performers, they have to get up, they have to work every day hurt, they have to work in pain. And when they do that, it creates a greater risk of them being injured. And R-Truth has been around the wrestling business a long time. I mean, he'll tell you firsthand, injuries happen all the time. Maybe not all the time, but when they happen, it's basically commonplace. And this is one of the many reasons that why we should respect every single man and woman who actually go into the squared circle, because they're putting their bodies on the line to entertain us fans. And R-Truth is one of the hardest working guys in the business. I mean, creatively, he has not been pushed to a serious level. But what makes him really respectable is he goes out there all the time, no matter what they give him to do. And he does it very, very well. He has an unorthodox style. He is used in segments that most of the time are actually meant to be comedic. But this guy actually is a hardworking veteran, and he is someone that's been around a long time. He's contributed to wrestling, no matter WWE or Impact Wrestling or TNA. This guy, obviously, in my book, is going to be remembered as one of the most underrated performers of all time. The unorthodox style, it reminds me of Rob Van Dam and Booker T and many of these other ones that, yeah, even though they were not pushed to a main event level, they don't have to be on the main event level for us fans to see how hardworking they are and appreciate their ability in the ring. And R-Truth, the thing with this is injuries really are something that, even though it'll slow him down, his determination to get back in the ring will pay off in the end, because he will be back. I really hope that he does get better, and I really hope that this guy makes a speedy recovery, despite cracked ribs are one of the most intense injuries ever, because it does affect your breathing. It can affect the slightest movement, and broken ribs are just one of the most brutal injuries ever. It's not just wrestling. Like, football players have had it. You look at hockey players. I mean, like, all these injuries that happen, no matter cracked ribs or other injuries, physical sports are always known to have their dangers. And that's really one of the things about, wrestling that everybody needs to remember. Yes, it's predetermined, and yes, the gimmicks are, played by the performers, but let's be honest, the injury rate in wrestling, it still runs rampant to this day, whether the 80s or the 90s or even today. I mean, it just happens. It's not easy to go in the ring and take bumps and bruises and go to the back and have to try to pull into another match the next day or the next week, because you never know when you're going to get hurt in wrestling. And that's one of the many things that I think that R-Truth really knows when he does what he does. I think everybody out there really needs to respect his work drive. You know, all these performers deserve our respect and what they do for us, because if we were basically, you know, more understanding of what they did, I think wrestling would get not as trashed as it normally has by a lot of skeptics. You know, everybody out there has trashed wrestling, you know, saying it's fake and all that, but the injury rate in wrestling is far from fake, because these performers, there have been performers that have gotten hurt. You know, you go back to WCW when Sid Vicious jumped off the second rope and he broke his leg in a match, in that fatal four-way match. And you have Stone Cold Steve Austin that got dumped on his head in 1997 in a match with Owen Hart. You have D'Lo Brown, who did a running power bomb to the late draws, which ended up paralyzing him from the waist down. I mean, people have got to start understanding that wrestling has its dangerous limits. And I feel like this is something that's really no different. You know, say what you will. Creatively, R-Truth, I mean, yeah, he's mainly pushed as a mid-carder, but the guy has the ability to make it known that he doesn't need to be a main eventer to be accepted by every single fan. And at the end of the day, this guy's one of the hardest working guys ever, despite I do think he needs to be pushed more after his long period in wrestling. But at the end of the day, this guy's work ethic is absolutely amazing and admirable. Let's hope he gets better, guys. Let's hope this guy stays out of the ring for a while, makes a full recovery. He comes back, and he actually is back to entertain us and do what he does best. This has been my video, guys. Tell me what you think in the comments section down below. And this has been a pretty good day for me. How has it been for you? I'd love to hear from you guys. Thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for more.